And many of you, like myself, during that 8 minutes, you shed a tear. You shed tears. And can I tell you that tears do not make you weak? It is simply an indication that you are alive. Because dead men and dead women cannot cry. See, the fact that he took his last breath, at some point in time, we will all take our last breath. So I heard from this man who was quite rich. He said, it's not in life what you can amass that makes you wealthy, that makes you rich. What makes an individual rich is what they can leave behind. And I thank God today that George, more than an image, he was a person, left a legacy. He left wealth. Because George, to the time that he took his last breath, he was fighting to live. Can I ask you today, will you be like George and keep fighting till you have nothing left? See, he took his last breath, but I'm thinking in my mind that maybe, just maybe, when he exhaled, we can inhale. I think you're getting the picture. But maybe his last breath is what he left. And when he exhaled, we can inhale. The strength that the man had for 8 minutes and 46 seconds to keep fighting. And that same breath that he let out, in the same breath that we breathe in, can you inhale for just a moment? And now George is right inside of you. Yeah, we all make mistakes. Let me lift my right hand and my left hand and my right foot and my left foot. And if you made a mistake, raise your hand. I just hope that the mistake that I made yesterday, an hour ago, I'm sorry, a minute ago, does not cost me my life. But as I do when I go out to speak to a lot of great people, I'm looking out to this crowd and I'm so happy to be here because I love to be surrounded by people with purpose. I love to be surrounded by winners and champions. And a winner and a champion is not somebody that's never fallen before. It's somebody that refuses to stay down and they get up one more time. For today marks that day that we all get up for George. Maybe he couldn't get up, but today I get up. Today I rise. Today I come out of my house. I walk down the street. I stay in the sun. I lay on the grass. And I do it for George. And I think about it, takes me back to my younger years as a young man. And I was trying to figure out why I'm sitting inside of a restaurant and this man has brought all four of us to a restaurant and he's standing there and he's sitting there and he's not eating. You see, the single mom went to this man who was a coach and said, my son is going down the wrong path because his dad is in prison. My son is going down the wrong path because his dad was a drug dealer. His dad was a gangbanger. And I don't want him to end up like them. Sir, can you please help him? So one child came, another child came, another child came, and another child came. And there's 4 individuals, all minorities, African-American, Hispanic. And the man, he was white. I'm sorry, he was Italian. He had those big fingers like, have you ever seen Fred Flintstone? He had those big toes. Could you ever see Fred Flintstone? He was Italian. He was Italian. And he asked himself, what can I do to help these young men? I'm not black. What can I do? I'm just a white coach that drives a gold Porsche. Have you ever seen one? I've only seen one, and that was that time. Yeah. And so the kids will look at him and say, man, you think he's all right, man? He got to be all right, man. You know, he ain't going to try nothing because it's 4 of us and it's one of him. Yeah, and they kept eating because he knew that the way to get the guys to come at about 7 in the morning is feed them. And that's still a commonality to this day. And so they ate and they kept talking and said, man, you know, well, he's been doing it for a month now. You think he's going to stop? You think he's going to leave us like our dads did? And he kept coming. Somebody saying he kept coming. He kept coming. And he didn't say anything. He just waited. See, sometimes in order to change things, you can't do it fast. Sometimes when you're trying to change things, you got to seek to understand before you are understood. See, love is at its best when it's given away. And love is not love if it's, I give you this to get that. That's called selfishness. It's called counterfeit. That's the love that we see all the time. But this man loved us. And so all 4 young men's lives changed. Can I tell you how it ended? It ended that the one young man who was filled with anger and his dad was never there, he ended up getting a full scholarship at TCU and he went on to play for the New England Patriots. Somebody said 1 week. He would go every week. And then the next young man, he got a full scholarship, education, come on somebody, to go to Northwestern University, and he played ball. He played for the Kansas City Chiefs. Somebody say 1 hour. Yeah. And so the third guy, that dad was a gangbanger, and he would come to school with these colors, handkerchiefs in his pocket. He took that handkerchief from him, and he traded in the handkerchief, and he gave him back a diploma from Princeton University. Come on, somebody say 1 man. Come on. Do we have some energy in the crowd today? Because you can't change nothing if you ain't got no energy. It was just 1 man. And so the other young man went on to get a full academic scholarship to have his own radio show, to travel across America to Alaska and Hawaii and talk to kids, visit prisons, help the homeless, raise a family. His dad was a drug addict. His dad was homeless. His dad had schizophrenia with mental health disorder. So he went on to dedicate his life to helping the homeless because he understood when he looks into a man's eyes and a woman's eyes, everybody has a story and everybody can judge. But can I ask you a question? Can you love? Because love is stronger than judgment. And the only time that they look down on the person is not to say something bad, but to lift them up. So the only time that we should ever look down is to help pull somebody up.
Right.
Come on. Come on. Woo! And so this man, because the 4th kid was me, I asked him, I said, you know, now I'm in college and everything. Can I ask you why you helped all of us? We didn't do much for you. What he said was this, and this relates to today. He said that it was one day that my beautiful wife was in the bathroom and she was having stomach pains. And I went in there and she screamed and she cried and we had a miscarriage. You see, I lost a son and I was broken for many, many years. And I asked myself, with something so tragic, where's the purpose? Where's God? When it hurts, I ain't hurt nobody. That's what George said. And so it was in that pain that he pulled himself together and God spoke to him in his ear and he says, you might have lost 1, but you're going to gain hundreds of sons. So from that point, all he was doing is looking for that son that might be dying in the street, falling through the cracks, and I was one of the sons. See, that man his name is David Morocco, and he's gone now, the Italian guy with the fat fingers. But I'm so glad that wasn't the only thing that he had that was plush. His heart was plush too. You see, I was there. I was broken, man. Yeah, my dad told me before I was born that you're not my son. I can hear him. You know, you can hear things when you're in the womb. Ask a mom that sings to their child. And when they're born, they can sing the same song and you'll see the peace of God come on their child. And so I heard what my daddy said, you're not my son. And about 3 months ago, when I was laying on the altar of the church, I heard God say, I was there when it was said. And I'm going to heal you right now. Amen. See, we wasn't there when George said his last breath, but we hurt with him and we cried with them And we're asking ourselves, what good can come out of something so tragic? I say we got to be like David Morocco. We got to sit back for just a moment before we go out in anger and want to hurt somebody. And in anger, to cuss that person out. And in anger, say, you just like him. And in anger, all the cops are alike. In anger, anger doesn't accomplish much. I was an angry kid. All the time, y'all. Had an attitude. Had 2 bags of chips on my shoulders. Had all kind of things happening. If you step on my shoes, we ready to fight. If you look at me wrong, we ready to fight. I was that angry black man. That's what I was until love came into my world in a restaurant through a man by the name of Dave Morocco. Can I tell you today, don't marginalize who you are. Don't marginalize your impact. Maybe it's only 1 week. Maybe it's only 1 day. Maybe you're saying it's only one person, but one person can change the world if they just, in their block, in their neighborhood, the person at their school, on their workplace, if you can just love them. Because I didn't need another person to judge me. I needed someone to love me. And as I told you before, I was broken. I was broken. When George died, I was broken. You're here because you were broken. But can I tell you that broken crayons still color? Can I tell you that sometimes it's in our brokenness that we have our greatest strength. And we ask ourselves, why do bad things happen to good people? Sometimes you can't really go as far and as high or as deep as you need to go until you're broken. So I want you to think about what has broken you in your life. And don't allow it to master you and it cause you to be powerless, but allow it to make you to become powerful. See, this young man drew this picture right here. And he was broken just like me, an African-American young man. And in this particular picture, you will see. All right. You see a teddy bear with the heart. We're meant to hug teddy bears, right? But what's significant about the teddy bear's heart is the heart has a hole in it. He has a broken heart. And what I'm here to say to you today is that, just like it says in the scripture, that God is close to those who are brokenhearted. That healing has come today in Midlothian. Healing has come today in Midlothian. And no, they wouldn't let me get into the army because I was flat-footed. I said, but your boy can run, you know what I'm saying? I got a great mind. I scored out the charts on the ASVAB test. And we're going to put you in, the nuclear war zone. You're going to build these, you're going to do all this kind of stuff, but we can't, Mr. Jackson, you're flat-footed. I said, it wasn't the first time I heard no, you know what I'm saying? But now I'm in a different army. Right. Can you take your right hand, place it over your chest? I want you to repeat after me. Say, I am in the global army called love. Now that you are in the global army of love, can you clap it up for yourself? Yeah. See, when we pull out our guns, I'm going to hit you, girl, bam, with some love. I'm going to hit you, guy, bam, with some love. Man, we armed, we packing, we rolling 100 deep. Yeah, when we roll up on your neighborhood and your block, you going to get some love. When we roll up in the civic center, at the workplace, at the job, you going to get some love. Somebody say some love. Repeat after me, say, I, heart, you. Now, you got to participate. That means take your hands, put them together. Let's try it again. Say, I, heart, you. See, hate can't do nothing with that. Anger can't do nothing with that. You put hate next to love, hate can't do nothing. It's the kryptonite. Anger can't do anything. So I dare you, I triple dog dare you to be the one just like David Morocco. Will you be the one that'll walk up to a young lady that does not look like you and say, how you doing today? Will you walk up to the young man does not look like, say, man, I just want to say hi to you and hope you're welcome to the neighborhood. I don't cook, but I can give you a hi. I got a basketball hoop. You know what I'm saying? I don't bake cookies, but I can play ball. Will you be the one to sit by the person in the cafeteria that nobody else sits by? Will you be the one? Sometimes to be the one, you got to be willing to walk alone. But if you can't walk alone, then nobody's going to follow you because you're already in the crowd.